hear me? Mic's on? I don't know about you, but I got choked up watching that video, and I've seen it like 27,000 times. So I'm just going to take a breath. Just show of hands of everyone that was at the AGM earlier today. So we did our AGM in 30 minutes. Because that's what we do. We're entrepreneurs. We're efficient. We get stuff done. So when I was asked to be president this year by Mary Evelyn, where's Mary? She's right there. Some of the questions that run through your head is, in addition to like time commitment and how could I possibly be a leader of the leaders that are in this organization was, well, what's the vision for the year? What do I latch onto? What puts it all together? And really what it is, for me, is that it's the future. The future is in this room right now. Jeff Hoffman says, founder of Priceline and Ubid and a bunch of other cool companies, iconic entrepreneur, his great quote is, if you want to change the world, unleash an army of entrepreneurs. But it's more than that. Entrepreneurs don't just change the world, they create the world. When others sit on the sideline, we act. We build, we create jobs, we feed families, we lead the way forward. We invent, we disrupt, we turn nothing into something, we make things better, we create the future. So I want everyone here to give a round of applause to themselves for creating the future. Little Star Trek joke there. I'm a big Trekkie, that's why. But it's hard. It's fucking hard. Right? Everyone in this room knows how hard it can be to do this. Whether you're the one running the business or whether you're the life support system for the person that's running the business, and thank you for all the spouses for attending tonight. But it's important and it matters. The world that we live in was created by entrepreneurs. Each and every one of you is creating the future right now. Changing your world, whether it's in big ways or smaller ways, but you're going to leave it differently than you found it. And that's where EO comes in. So by being a member of an organization like EO, specifically EO Toronto, you're showing your commitment to getting better at doing that, to opening yourself up, to pushing your own boundaries, to learning more, to growing more, and to creating meaningful connections with other people going through the same exact things that you're going through, whether it be for business, your personal life, your family, or your community. The connection power of everyone in this room, the collective brain trust, the millennia of experience, not just your own, but those that came before you. It's why EO is so incredibly powerful. There's really nothing new. If you're going through something in your business, there's a very good chance that if not somebody in this room, in the EO organization globally, has gone through it before. Every year, a group of us get to lead this chapter. We have the good fortune of setting a course for EO Toronto. And this year, our course is the future. And supporting you and empowering you to create it. Events, programs, conversations, it's the collection of moments throughout the year that will help shift you, help evolve you as an entrepreneur and as a person. It's not just one event that you're going to go to. It's not just one speaker or workshop or thing you learned. What EO is about, it's about the collective sum of all of its pieces coming together and moving you from the person that you were to the person that you're going to be. Not really even the person that you are, because really it's, at least in my experience, a very rapid evolution. The person that I was when I joined EO is just not the person that I am right now. It was not from one single event, although I got lots of good stuff and nuggets and figured out lots of things. But the reality is that I had to shift me to be able to even understand some of those things. I remember one of my very first events I went to, and I was like drinking from the fire hose like we all are, and I got home and I just like regurgitated everything all over. I'm like, Tanya, I just learned all this great stuff. Did I implement any of it? Probably not. right? Certainly not the next day, although I sure scared the shit out of my staff when I walked in. Probably not the next week, not the next year, but over the course of the 6 years that I've been a member of EO, yeah, you damn well bet I've implemented a lot of the stuff that I've learned, and there's a lot of stuff that I have not implemented yet, and I don't even necessarily know why yet, but one day I'll learn it, and that's why I stay in EO, to continue the journey. So I dare you to join me in continuing this journey, in showing up, in committing and taking full advantage of everything that we've got planned for this year, because speaking from experience, I have FOMO, fear of missing out. I come to everything. That's probably the reason I'm up on this stage right now, is I just put my hand up for everything. And it's my fuel. When I have a bad day, it's my EO Forum mates. When I've had tough time in business, it's events, it's questions, it's reaching out to the global network, it's going to global leadership conference. It's everything and all the sum of its pieces and then each individual one. So I thank you. I thank you for being here. I thank you for your contribution, your participation, your excitement, and I thank you for creating the future with me. Some formal thank yous. So thank you obviously to the members for being here. Thank you to the spouses, because quite frankly, it would be a very different thing it's a very different thing being an entrepreneur when you don't have a supportive spouse. So everyone that's here, for sure. Clearly the most supportive of all the spouses. EOA members. I know we have a few EOA members who are here, so thank you to the EOA members who have come and shown up. Members from Southwestern Ontario. I see Nadine over here. There's a few more coming. Honored guests. Members of Toronto Plus. I know Steve and Sumit, and there's a right over there. There we go. We have some prospective members in the room, so thank you for coming out, test driving our organization and seeing a little bit about what we have to offer and how we think and operate and support each other. Prospective sponsors. We have a few prospective sponsors in the room. I'll touch on in just a minute how important it is to have our sponsors. I'll mention them as well. And honored guests. So there's a few people, well, there's a whole bunch of people really without whom this event simply couldn't happen or exist. I'm going to call out a few of them. BB Blanc, our DJ, who's owned by Rennie Kaleli, who is right back there. So Rennie, thank you. Providing the DJ services tonight. Obviously, we killed it on the budget tonight. We did such a great job because of all of the blessed people who I'm about to list right now. So big rounds of applause for everybody. Joseph from Union, he did our year in review video. I own an agency and we cut videos all the time, and I've never seen a guy that worked as hard in such a short period of time to get this video done. Unfortunately, his grandfather passed away yesterday, so he's actually on his way to Montreal right now. Otherwise, he'd be here with us tonight to be a videographer and celebrate with us tonight. So condolences for that. Mike Woodgate, he's the one that designed our handbook. Everyone get a handbook when you came in? Praveen's going to talk about that more. Is that not an incredible piece of printed materials? That is a great thing for us to have this year, not just for us to know what's coming up for the year, but for us to understand what EO is all about in one place. The Eglinton Grand and Teresa Beankin. Where's Teresa? Learning chair. I saw her. She was right here. Oh, there she is. Thank you so much. This venue could not have happened without Teresa, and of course the venue could not have happened without the Eglinton Grand. And Mary Evelyn. Mary, I love you. Thank you. Thank you for what you did last year. Thank you especially for handing me a surplus of $55,000. Of course, our sponsors. So we have a number of sponsors in the room. I know we all pay a lot of dues. I mentioned this at the last event. Our dues are certainly not high enough to put on the caliber of events that, as EO members, we basically demand and expect right now. National Bank, the Bank for Entrepreneurs, Linda. She's the representative there. Many of you have met her. We have Richter Accounting Firm, also for entrepreneurs. Fogler Rubinoff is our law firm. And surprisingly enough, they're also for entrepreneurs. That's strange how that works. CFO Center. I think Paul is in the room. The way I like to look at the CFO Center is that your bookkeeper is your accountants for your past, your bookkeepers for your present, and CFO Center is for the future. So they're for companies that are really getting to that next level and need to know, plan strategically. MindWorks, Arun's here. I'll call you in a second specifically. I did see you. Oh, there he is, right at the back. Helping companies select and hire the right people, how important is that? That is a critical component. None of us would exist in our companies without our people. Warren Coughlin, sitting right here at this table here. High performance business coaching. And our newest sponsor, Microsoft, work smarter, faster, simpler, better. Aparna's here. I saw her name on the list. But all these sponsors and the contributions, not just from a financial perspective, but also from a partnership perspective. So many of these sponsors I use personally, if I hadn't before, I do now. And they work with entrepreneurs specifically, but more importantly, they work with EO members. Thank you. So Arun Shannon, if you're, yeah, sorry, I already called you, okay, great. Warren Coughlin, Paul Nagpal from the CFO Center. I know Paul's here, all right. Aparna from Microsoft, Dennis Ng from Richter, I saw him earlier. And Kaylee Green from Folger Rubinoff will be here shortly. Okay, we also have a few prospective sponsors in the room. So we have Jacqueline Grossman from Sunwing. Where's Jacqueline sitting? There she is, all right. And John Hubbard from Hubbard Insurance. John, he actually just emailed me, and he's not able to make it, so I forgot to leave that off the slide. He got sick last minute. But really none of this happens, like for sure, for real, absolutely nothing even gets off the ground without this incredible woman right here, who's actually standing right there. Thank God she's still here. Catherine. We have 22 members on our board. I'll cover that in a second. And she manages us in some, I don't even know how she does it. It's like taming lions, so she calls it. But thank you from the bottom of my heart. Every president before you, before me has thanked you. I knew how important you were, sort of, until I became president, and now it's very, very clear, so thank you. And our newest member of the EO staff, Sonia, she's whipping around here somewhere, organizing an event. She's our new event planner. I'll speak about why we have another addition to our staff. And I would be remiss if I had this stage and I didn't get to make a couple of personal thank yous. So this guy, good-looking guy on my left now, everyone's left, sitting right there. I know he's really embarrassed. Sorry, I don't mean to do this to you. But I have to thank you because this is my partner in crime for 20 years in my company. He's also my cousin, my business partner. And this summer's been a tough one. Not a tough one, but it's been a busy one for me being EO president. We've also had some challenges in our company. And thank God for this man carrying a lot of that load. So thank you. If I can get a round of applause. Starting tomorrow, I'll be doing a little bit more work. And of course, my beautiful wife and son, Tanya and Braven. Everyone here, most of you here know my wife, Tanya. She's sitting right there. No one wants to give an Oscar speech without forgetting their wife, because they just get killed, right? No, but Tanya's the reason I joined EO. She's the one that, when I was going through some troubles in my business, she said, you really got to join EO. Some of you in the room also encouraged me, but she was the main pusher. And she also was the one that gave me the confirmation that I was allowed to be president, so thank you for that. All right. And the board. So this really, these are the people here that have donated their personal time, volunteering, taking time away from their businesses, from their families, and they've stepped up to really help you guys maximize, or help all of us maximize our EO experience. We have a big board for this year, very engaged, lots of passion. I'll explain why the board is so big in a second, but first, if I could just get all of the board members to come on up to the stage, or at least around the stage. I think it's really important to have everyone recognized because this is a huge amount of work. Come on up here, guys. In my mind, the stage was bigger when I thought about this. So, I mean, I have it written in this list, but I should probably go left to right here. Am I cheating? Got Mary Evelyn, is past president. Obviously, everyone knows. Teresa Beankin, our learning chair. Shane Bennett, our forum chair. Virginia Block, our vice. Okay, so this is a distinction. So we have a succession planning thing in place this year. It's one of the reasons we have so many board positions. I'm echoing. Vice membership chair, we have Sumit from EO Plus chapter, president of EO Plus chapter, and also the liaison to EO Toronto. We'll talk about that in a second. Jeremy Choi, our global liaison. Jennifer Dang down there, who's our vice communications, and Alyssa we have as our communications. Rob Hussein, who is our membership chair, and as we'll see in a second, already getting some new members. We got Kyle Gadd on MyEO, Praveen Duper on marketing. We got TK the man. I'm not going to try your last name, sorry. On Strat-Alliance. Faisal on GSCA, Sonia Vaknin on finance. I don't need an applause for her, actually, just because, a little extra special applause. She really sorted some shit out last year that deserves that. Thomas, we got on our Strat-Alliance chair. Jody, we have on our integration. I'll come back to you. We got Paul, who's a Plus liaison and also integration, and we have John, who's our vice forum chair. And we'll announce it this year. We have Pete, who is our leadership chair, and he's also the incoming president for next year. All right, so thank you guys. You make this a pleasure and a joy because we've had literally some of the best board meetings I've ever been to. It's such a great group, and we always vote in favor all the time. Every motion is yes. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. All right. I'll call a couple of them back up here in a minute.
How do we do a shout out to you?
Oh, that's okay. Oh, good. Tony did my shout out. So I was fortunate enough to be the leadership chair last year, a task that I gave to Pete this year, which is what let me handpick my dream board. As you can see, we've got an awesome group. So in June, we went up to the Muskokas, and we locked ourselves in a room. It was raining, so that was why we stayed in that room, for our strategic summit. And we came up with our big goals for the year. It's called a map, but let's just call it what our main goals are. So I'm going to give you what I call our State of the EO Union address. So out came a comprehensive plan, including our 3 big priorities. Priority number 1 is membership growth. So we've seeded 2 new chapters in the past 3-4 years, Southwestern Ontario and Plus. So our membership numbers are down sort of historically low. But at the end of the day, Toronto is the hub of business in Canada. And there's a hugely untapped market for entrepreneurs that would be great value adds for our organization, who would learn a lot from us and be able to contribute a lot. So we have a big, ambitious growth plan. In addition to growing organically with new members, we also want to have a great retention plan in place, led by Jody and Paul on our integration team, to help really elevate the experience of the members. Who here came tonight? Either you got an email or you got a call. Like who here got the call? So we're making sure that engagement is going to be like on another level this year. So already, we have our new members to announce here. So we have 4 new members. Al Gagnani, David Brobrook, Scott Putnam, and Troy Namiash. If you guys could stand up. I know you're all here because I met you earlier. Thank you, guys. There's David. Welcome to the organization. David, welcome this way. David's an EOA graduate. So we're really thrilled and pleased to have you guys here and look forward to seeing you out at events and contributing together and creating the future together. Yeah. In addition to organic growth, there's a big drive, EO globally. This isn't just happening in Toronto, but it's called alternative growth. In fact, they've even started putting in alternative growth regional directors to help look at ways that we can expand the value and the relevance of EO beyond the structure that it currently is. So Nashville, Japan, New York, there's Hong Kong, there's a number of chapters around the world which have started experimenting with either multiple chapters or multiple programs within existing chapters that serve a different business need depending on where the entrepreneur is in the life cycle of their business. So in Toronto, this has manifested itself as Toronto Plus. A lot of them are sitting over at that table there, which is essentially, it was originally envisioned as this sort of a retention tool to prevent people from leaving and going to YPO. but it has actually manifested itself into something much better in my mind. And Sumit and I have been working really closely to build a relationship and an alignment between the two chapters and figuring out how that looks. You know, we're still kind of in that pilot process, but I think we've got a good agreement and an alignment down pat, where now our staff, so Catherine and Sonia, will be working collectively with both chapters. They will become part of the hashtag #OneEO movement, so their chapter will be formally aligned with ours. They come to our events and help participate in events and throw events, GSCA being a good collaboration event. So that's the idea there, and really that's just the first step. Ideally, going into the future, what we'd like to do is either build chapters related to geographic, as Southwest Ontario proved can work, or possibly things like tech, or different industries, and it can manifest itself either as different chapters or perhaps different programs. We don't know, but that's what entrepreneurs do. We create shit, try it, and if it doesn't work, we do something else. But so far, it's going great. So it's going to be a big focus for us this year, is finding alternative ways to grow the chapter. And I believe that your network is your net worth, and the more people you know, the better. Let's expand both. Second big goal for this year: impact and influence. So EO's mission globally is to be the most influential community of entrepreneurs in the world. But I think many of us can probably attest to the fact that we're kind of the entrepreneur's best kept secret. So our goal is to change that this year. Our members, like, really as the leading entrepreneurs in the city, we should be on display, center stage. We should be in the media. We should be talked about, we should be on television, we should be in papers, really as the visionaries, as the builders of the fortunes, as the creators of the future that we are. Governments make decisions without asking us. The media reports on stuff without asking us. Why? We're the ones in the trenches. This is what we do all day, every day. So it's just because they don't know about us. So a big focus this year will be to elevate our impact and our influence in our local community and go all the way up. So we're off to a great start. Next week, Sumit and I have a meeting and a little delegation. If anyone else wants to participate, by all means. We're meeting with the Ministry of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade under the new Ford administration for Ontario, because we want to make sure our voice is heard in that government. We met with Roy Kao from Mars Discovery District. Roy's here. Put your hand up, Roy. Is he? There he is. Yep. And they're going to be hosting GSA. Who here has heard of Mars? I think really incredibly cool innovation and disruption center. So they're going to be hosting our GSCA competition in November, which we'll talk about shortly. Of course, the EO Plus relationship and mentorship programs and things. We also have a national PR strategy coming through from the regional company called Bricks Media is going to be helping us promote our PR. And then also a local PR strategy that we're putting together that Parveen will talk about more in a minute. And that minute has come, because I didn't know what my next slide was. Parveen, come on up here. Yeah, come on up. Oh, Mike, sorry. Yeah, we have a handheld here. We have 5 mics. You can pick one. There you go. Yeah, do you want me to advance it, or you want to do it? Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Test.
Testing.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so we're gonna. Oh, it's on. Thank you. Okay. Last year when I took on this role of marketing chair, I had a vision. My vision was, why is it that we only have 100 or so members? It just didn't make sense to me. And I felt that to grow our membership, we needed to start by building a brand. So we built out the brand. And now we've launched our new website. So the EOToronto.ca website has been built as an engaging tool where we can lead prospects to. It's a great tool for promoting GSCA, Mentorship Program, our membership, and all the values that we have to offer. It talks from a perspective of the entrepreneurial journey, about the path that entrepreneurs take, starting from EOA to graduating to EO to becoming a potential Toronto Plus member. There's a journey here. The journey goes beyond that. We're also recognizing, obviously, in EO that students are the future of entrepreneurship. The GSCA is promoted on here, and the Mentorship Program to help us all grow as members and as entrepreneurs.
So Parveen worked really hard with his team to get this website done. A huge round of applause for that effort. It's awesome.
I'm hoping that you've all picked up the handbook when you registered. It's not a yearbook, it's a handbook. This handbook is full of promoting all the values of EO. It's obviously got the year-long calendar. And our learning team of Curtis and Teresa worked extremely hard over the last few months to make sure that the whole calendar was planned out. I got to give a big hand to both of them right now, actually. We all should. I mean, it's amazing that we've already got the calendar figured out. Okay, that's all in here. This handbook is a great tool. I want you all to take more than one copy back. Put one in your office. Put it, somewhere on your coffee table. When your guests come in, show them what EO is all about. This is celebrating us. It's got all of our forums in here. This is something I really wanted to get out there. I've been a member for over 3 years, and I don't even know who's in whose forum. This is great now. Now I can just open up the handbook and say, oh, Curtis, you're in this forum. This is fantastic. I want to meet this person. Let's go out for coffee. So I think this is a great tool. I hope you're going to use it, reference it often, and so on. One of the marketing initiatives for this year is going to be about continue to do what we started last year, which is build great content. And content is all about capturing videos like today of this event, using this content for recruiting, and obviously using it on social media and promoting it in a greater way. This year, this team of marketing, it's a bigger team. And I really want to call out Elisa. Elisa, if you can stand up. Where's Elisa? Woo! So Elisa's over here. And Jennifer Dang. Woo! Stand up, Jennifer. And then, communications and EO, there is no EO without Jeremy. So Mr. EO right there, Jeremy. So we're really lucky to have Jeremy to support us with all the things that he's done before us in communications, and through his guidance, we're going to continue to build on the communication strategy. But I really want to highlight this strategy. Elisa took what we started last year and she improved on it considerably. You're no longer going to get emails on a regular basis from the chapter. You're going to get one email, and it's the most important email you're going to get from Toronto, and that's this, the EOTO Pulse. Read it. It's going to have everything you need to know about what's going on in our chapter right now. Everything from perspective of the upcoming events, celebrating our members. Jennifer's going to reach out to all of you. She's going to talk to you about getting you engaged and getting you featured into our newsletter. We're going to showcase our new members. All the engagement that's happening on social media, the social media digest is part of this. The board members, the board meeting summary. If you want to know an overview of what happens when we are having our meetings, it'll all be here. Last but not least, sponsorship. Sponsors are going to be sharing a lot more content. When I talked about the website will be a tool for them to be able to share information that's valuable to us. Every sponsor is providing me with new content to put on there, content even related to how you can engage them in your own forum meetings. Last but not least, this chapter and any chapter in EO is not going to grow without us. So we're always going to be reaching out to the members and asking for those referrals. Just imagine if each of us was responsible for one member this coming year, just one member. We're a group of just slightly over 100. Next year, it'd be amazing if Peter came up here and said, we have over 200 members. Right? That's an achievable goal.
Can I skip the next slide?
This slide is all about what I'm coming to now, the bigger initiative for 2018 and 19. It's about making noise. It's about celebrating us, the members. We are going to build a PR strategy, a local PR strategy that is going to get you, the members, out there. We're going to reach out to you, and I want to learn more about your strengths. I want to learn more about your businesses. If the media is looking for someone who has expertise in manufacturing, I want to be able to reach out to that expert in EOTO and say, hey, here's an opportunity. Can you go over to CBC right now? They need you on the news. Throw a little plug in for EOTO while you're up there. Right, so we're going to be focusing heavily on that. We're also going to be focusing on podcasts. Creating our own EOTO podcast. That's one of my goals for this year, where at the end of the year, we have our own, and we're actually creating great content and telling stories about ourselves and promoting that using social media. This is just the starting point, but it's going to get bigger. Last but not least, one of our goals when I talk about celebrating us is next year when we're standing on this stage, someone in here is going to be winning awards. We are starting the EOTO Awards competition. Woo. So members will receive awards in certain categories. Other members will vote on those members. We're going to figure out that strategy, and hopefully next year we'll be able to kind of put it into practice. So last but not least, I touched on this already. If each of us can just get one member only to join, we'd be a group of over 200. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Good job. All right, the third big goal, and I'll speed through this a little bit. Apparently, we're a little bit behind. It's not like me to talk so much. I don't know. Is our learning events. Learning is a huge job. It's probably the biggest job of any role in EO. This year, we are really consolidating our calendar, and we're going to drop it down to one single event, like main banner event a month. There's other things that happen, EOA, et cetera. But there's going to be one a month. All of our resources and our focus and our energy are going to go into that one big event a month. And I'm pleased to announce that all of them have been mapped out. So we have an entire year of calendar that you can sign up for on the website. And I'm going to invite Teresa up now to help me tell you all about them. Thank you. Oh. I lost our handheld. Is the handheld there? Oh, you got it? The mad dash from the back of the room. Is it working?
Testing, yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So a lot of, covered the goals, and then I'll just say that the events
So
are...
first of all, I want to say how fortunate we are to have someone like Curtis in the leadership role who's really passionate about bringing the value of events to our membership, both from an educational perspective as well as from an experiential perspective, as you can see with tonight's event. This ain't your average AGM, so thank you, Curtis. You have, yes. And he's making it easy to have a map out of learning events because you have such a strong vision for the year. And so we've really tried to tie in the events to creating the future that Curtis is talking about and having a great balance between personal and professional benefits. And we're striving to be, at a global level, a peak chapter. And one of those metrics, for example, is having our calendar done before the end of September. So we've really motored through that, as you've heard. And from a chapter perspective, we're really looking to have our membership come out to as many events as possible so that by the end of the year, at least 80% of our members have come out to at least one event. And hopefully we've put together an impactful program to bring you out.
And we're at 63% already after
Yes.
2 events.
Thank you, everyone, so far.
Media attention?
I thought we were
Okay,
just
no
gonna
problem.
do it all.
No problem. We'll whip it along. Okay, so mark your calendars. If you have a phone, feel free to pull your phone out and log on to our website, and you can sign up for the events right here tonight. Now, I know it's a slow website, so if you have to do it later, that's fine too. Our ask is that you sign up and attend. Yeah, it's Global's fault, not the EO Toronto website, the one that you normally go to. Our ask is that you show up and you attend and come to as many events as you can. There's only one a month, so there's no excuses. And right now we're going to whip through them. They're all in your handbook, so we won't dwell too much on the details. So you can look through and really see what's going on. But just to give you a high-level view.
We held our first event over the summer. Traditionally, we've skipped events in the summer sometimes, and we felt it was really important to try to bring members together. It was a sold-out event themed on Drive Your Business Like a Champion, bringing out race car driver Alex Tagliani, hosted at the 27 Auto Club, and one of our own members' sons, Stephen Christodoulou. His son, Nico, is a Formula 4 race car driver at the age of 14. So we had a wide variety of experiences at that event.
Obviously the event tonight, which is our AGM and our gala. Not much to say about that since you're all currently living it.
And here are some of the events coming up. Next month, if you can put it on your calendar for the 15th of October, it's about scaling your business, either to exit or IPO. So many of us want to grow our business, and we'll learn ways to do that at the Toronto Stock Exchange. And thank you to the CFO Centre for presenting that.
Right after that, we have our GSEA, the Global Student Entrepreneurship Awards. Last year, our Toronto competitor placed second globally in the world, Andre. So we're going to try and continue that tradition and really create an incredibly impactful program. We're hosting it at Mars this year, as I mentioned earlier, which is a very cool venue. This will be a big event. So what we want to do is we want to have as many of you can come during the day, it's like a Dragon's Den style competition for students who are entrepreneurs. And then in the evening time, we're going to have a formal speaker we might be confirming tomorrow. I know the timing's bad, but we'll hopefully be confirming him tomorrow. So that'll be more of a conventional EO event, but it's going to be tacked on with the GSEA program during the day. By all means, come to both. We're also looking for judges to help us in the Dragon's Den style competition. So if you have any interest in that, Faisal Javert, who's sitting, damn, I can never find them. There he is, right at the back. Email Faisal if you have any interest in participating in the GSEA program.
In December, we are looking to have a great balance again between education and fun. We are bringing back the Mentorship Program in a relaunched way, so it's a great opportunity for mentors and mentees to learn from one another and coach each other. Thank you to Fogler Rubinoff for bringing that for us, and then we will end the day with our holiday party.
All right. So, and just to talk, we just confirmed this week, so this is a new addition to the slide. So Scott Patterson's going to be doing a lunch fireside chat before the Mentorship Program kickoff. Canadian business icon on the board of Lionsgate and all this sort of great stuff. And also we only have 20 spots available for this program. So if you want to be a mentor or a mentee, please email Rishi, which his email's right there, as soon as you possibly can, because this is going to go quick. There we go, holiday party.
January, kick off the new year with us by owning your personal brand. So many of us are the brand of our business, and we want to help you learn how to build a platform, perhaps have your own podcast. We'll bring in a master of personal brand clarity, Clay Hebert, and cover off as many areas as we can to help you build your brand and become the voice of your organization and your industry.
Now a somewhat controversial event. So, to be a great entrepreneur, it's not just about being a great businessman. It's about being a great person. And what we're going to try and do for our Valentine's Day event is, I'm seeing some snickering from that last comment, from my wife. So, we're going to do a Valentine's Day event. We're bringing in Dr. Jess. She's going to, what's the exact phrasing of this so that it's not, okay, I'm going to read it. We'll leave business on the sidelines for this evening and work on some personal and relationship growth. World-renowned sex therapist, author, and speaker Dr. Jess O'Reilly will help us explore the science of passion and intimacy, how we can apply it to our daily lives, and here's what I was trying to say earlier, happy relationships make better entrepreneurs. There we go. We're going to have a hotel venue for this one, and we're going to get a group rate so you can all practice what you learned.
And then in March, Curtis, why don't you cover this one, because I know you're really passionate about it. We're going to shift things from our 100K event and bring you an Evolve Leadership Summit to bring together you and your family.
Yeah, well, so it's going to be a family event. There's been some great ones that we're modeling after, particularly in New York. They have a family summit with workshops for kids and entrepreneurs alike. So you bring your family, bring your kids. And really what the idea here is that and I only have a 4-year-old, so I don't fully appreciate this yet, but I do sometimes, I wonder, I'm like, how do I get all the knowledge and the things that I'm learning and the way that I'm thinking and I'm growing? How do I download that into my kid's head so that he has a better shot at creating the future life than I did? And that's what this event really is going to be about. It's about how do we involve our kids and our family and enroll them into the entrepreneurial way of thinking.
And then in April, we're going to learn from Sam Mizrahi, presented by Richter LLP, about his experience working to build the tallest building in the entire country, right here at Yonge and Bloor. So it'll be a fireside chat opportunity to get up close and personal and really learn about some of the challenges he's had along the way, as well as what it's like to be a visionary thinker and execute a massive vision. And
one of our most requested events ever, and I'm very glad that I was able to figure out, or we were able to figure out a way to do it, is a book writing workshop. We're bringing in Tucker, Max, and Zach from Book in a Box. Now it's been renamed to Scribe, and they're going to. There's limited, probably about 25, 30 people. It'll be limited to. So if you really want to write your book and get published and get it out there, you're going to want to come to this workshop. They're going to fly in a bunch of their editors. They're going to sit down. The first half of the day is going to be the idea for the book, the strategy, framing it out, chapters, then getting an interview scheduled together so you can actually get the book done, because we all know we're probably not going to write it ourselves, because if you could, you would have done it already. And then the second half of the day is going to be marketing it, getting it to be a #1 bestseller, cover design, all that good stuff. So it's a roll-up-your-sleeves, hardcore workshop, and if you want to write a book, sign up to this right away.
And these guys really know what they're doing. Cameron Harold, many people follow Cameron. He is a huge supporter of them, and a number of his books have been written with them. I've referred clients their way, and they've been really great to work with. So it's a really unique opportunity for our chapter. And then at the end of the year, to wrap it all up, we're going to bring together sales and marketing and a special event hosted by our president, Curtis Priest. Do you want to talk about the sales and marketing focus?
Yeah, it's really the idea of the sales and marketing channels have converged, especially with modern technology, and really this is an event that's going to be about how to understand that and what to do about it, practical, actionable tips and tools, as well as high-level theory stuff, and really how to manage and control your customers' journey and life cycle from not knowing about you to knowing about you and then beyond. And then after that, I don't think I have a slide for that. After that, we'll have the President's Party, much like we did last year, where it was an event followed by a big party, so we'll have that at a cool venue. Some of these venues are still yet to be determined, partially because we have to see how our budget plays out for the rest of the year, but also partially because it's almost a year away, and there's still some time to plan.
And you'll also see in Parveen's fabulous brochure some of the regional and global events that are coming up as well. Specifically this year, we have the One Canada event in June in Halifax for the whole country. So that's something to definitely put on your calendar as well.
All right. Thank you, Teresa. Huge, awesome job. Thank you for helping us with this venue and all the great speakers.
Register, register, register.
Yes. All right, so we are running a little bit behind, and I did warn Shane that I was going to have to maybe cut his time down a little bit, but I'm going to invite Shane Bennett up here to talk quickly about Forum. Oh, you got a mic, great.
Excellent. You going to run the clicker for me?
What's that?
You going to run the clicker for me?
I'll by all means.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, Curtis stole all my time, so I'm in a lot of trouble right now. What's the #1 benefit of EO? Let's make this interactive. It's easy. I can't hear you. Forum, right. So 70% of members renew because of Forum. So they gave me this job, unbelievably. It's a lot of responsibility. So my role is making sure forums are happy and healthy, and that you're getting a great experience. So if you're having challenges, moderator-elects or forum members, I am here to help at any point. So you can reach out to me at any time. It's Shane Bennett. You can find me on the app or the EO website. The one other thing we're doing is this year is a best practice with some of the other chapters, and that's a forum-to-forum social. So on January 29th, I'm going to pair you with another forum, and all in one night at different locations with another forum, we'll do an event. And you can do whatever you like. You can go bowling, you can go go-karting, although that'd be a little cold, and have some fun together and engage. And I'll tell you, GLC, when we got together with another chapter from another state, it was unbelievable. And so that's something I'll be doing over the next little while. Excellent. Next slide, please. The one thing that was on the slide that's super important is the Moderator Summit. So any moderator-elects or moderators are Untrained should be registered for the Saskatoon Summit on October 11th and 12th. Excellent. So who here in the room's heard of Spousal or Life Partner Forum? Anybody? Okay, so big opportunity to promote that. So how many people in the room go to forum and come out 5 hours later and their spouse or life partner says, well, what'd you talk about? What'd you say? Well, I can't tell you, of course. And how does that go? Sometimes it's a little awkward. So I know I'm a 3-year member and my wife Sean is super keen to join a spousal life partner forum to understand what all this confidentiality is about. So it's a great opportunity for any EO member, spouse, or life partner to join a forum experience with a diverse group of other spouse life partners. So it's a super cool opportunity. You get forum trained, and we're going to launch the first one in November. So it's going to be awesome. Woo! Excellent. And in that vein, I can tell you how great it is, but I haven't lived it. So we have a special guest, Lindsay Grand from Southwestern Ontario EO chapter. Lindsay is a spouse of Michael Grand at the table on my left here, and she was in an SLP forum for 4 years in Edmonton. So talk to her. She's the one who's lived it as a spouse life partner of an EO member and had an amazing experience. So Lindsay and I are here to help give you information, and I have brochures at the table to help be part of this great experience. I'm going to ask Lindsay to come up for a couple minutes and talk about the benefits and a bit about her experience so you can hear it firsthand of why this is such a powerful experience for you. Lindsay? Give her a big round of applause. She came from Cambridge. That's a long way.
Thank you so much for inviting me to come up here and talk about the Spousal Life Partner Program. I had this whole unauthentic talk designed, and I was sitting here thinking about what forum really means to me and what EO means to me as an EO spouse, listening to everybody talk. Why wouldn't I want to be a part of this? It's kind of common sense. The energy in this room, all the great people, the amazing things that are happening, supporting my partner in this journey, him supporting me, it just makes sense. Do I need to say any more?
Any questions from the partners in the room? I'll put you on the spot.
And feel free to corner at the bar after if you have any questions.
Yeah, we'll be here all evening. Happy to answer questions. I've got brochures on it. EO is such a powerful journey. It's changed my life. It's changed Lindsay's life. It really gets your partner engaged in the process, the events, all kinds of great things to leverage the member value, and there's no incremental cost. So leverage the member value you're getting, get your spouse connected, and change their lives as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, sir. All right, not a lot left. I'll just cover a couple of our key programs. EOA, and I only bring it up because there's a couple of EOAers in the room, as well as a couple of EOA graduates. So it shows how important this program is for businesses between 250 and $1 million on their way up north of $1 million. The reason I want to talk about this specifically is because there's 4 learning days in EOA, and all EO members are invited to them. And it's a great program. It's part of Scaling Up. It's workshops, 4 workshops. And there's workbooks that you follow, and it follows the Scaling Up program. And honestly, I've attended them for the last couple of years, and I had originally just attended it as sort of a member of the board and participate, and I found myself learning a lot of stuff about my business that I didn't know. So they're great, and I encourage you all to come. They're on the website as well. Path of Leadership, and this is the last major topic that we'll cover, is getting to be a leader of an organization like this is not just thrilling and exciting, and you get to do a lot of cool stuff and plan cool venues like this and events and do handbooks and videos, but really it's how to learn to be a better leader. Because becoming on the track of Path of Leadership gets you training. So there's our Global Leadership Conference, and there's workshops, and there's Regional Leadership Academy, Global Leadership Academy. There's a whole bunch of things in place that help teach you how to become the best version of yourself, the best leader that you can be. So I encourage you to get involved, own your own experience, step up, email me if you want to get on the board, if you want to be in a committee or anything next year. And I'll leave you with just a couple quick minute video. Last year was cool. We hosted GLC, Global Leadership Conference in Toronto. And this is the video of that experience. how cool is that? Toronto hosted 1,800 member leaders from around the world, a lifetime of friends from all over the globe. Thank you so much. They're going to be continue to serve a little bit, and then in a couple minutes we'll have Tony get up to deliver his keynote. Thank you, everybody. Keep the night moving along. If everyone can please take your seats. We have our keynote happening momentarily. I didn't put the counter on. Don't make me put the counter on. Hey, Pete. Can you just round everyone up at the back of the room? Start with your fiance. Is mine still connected? No. Oh, can you? So what's that? But that's mine. Oh. Can you just hit back on mine? Can you just hit back on mine, the arrow? No, next. Wrong way. One more? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for quieting down. Thank you. Hey, that works, kind of. Okay, so Tony, I had this little bio thing. Tony was going to read it. He's like, no, let me do this. This is better. And that's the way Tony's mind works. Tony was actually my very first choice for the keynote of this event. He has an incredible bio, and I'm going to try not to read it because really it's the essence of this man. He is a Canadian advertising legend. You've probably heard him on radio, you've seen him on TV. He's one of our most famous Canadian entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneur. He's built and sold global communications agencies, but he's a man that I have always looked up to. I saw him speak many years ago, I know you remember, at an event, and he literally he was doing this thing on storytelling, and audience members would stand up and they'd tell their business, and literally in like 10 seconds, he would give them an advertising campaign that you'd have to spend $20 million to go get. And he did it right there on the spot. It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Since then, I have aspired to have him be a keynote at an event. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Chapman.